After leaving the castle, you travel to a place called the Hangman's Tree. From there, I made my way through Oxenfurt and crossed the river. Once across, I made my way to Novigrad and searched for a ship to take me to Skellige. Most of the captains say that it is too dangerous a journey, due to the local pirates. But I managed to find a guy who says he has connections, and I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth, especially when it costs so much. We set sail, and Geralt takes a nap in the hold. We wake up to the sounds of a storm and pirates fighting on the deck. Geralt rushes out to help and manages to fight off a few of the pirates. Unfortunately, the ship scrapes against some rocks, and the mast of the ship falls on Geralt, crushing him to death. It's a shame, really. Our adventure was only just getting started. Apparently, Geralt can survive a beam of solid wood landing on his face. You know, you could have just had him bump his head as he fell over the side. You didn't need to do it like this. Anyway, the scavenger wakes us up and we ask about Yen.
Agreed to meet a sorceress here, Yennefer of Vengerberg. She's supposed to be on Ord Skellige.
There's a wetcha Kertrolda. Croc's guest. Could be the one you're meeting.
Seen her? Know what the sorceress looks like?
Aye. Wears black and white. If not for her tits, you'd think she was a beached orca. Fact is, even those who see her for a wench would gladly push her out to sea, tits and all.
I find it annoying that my only two options are to threaten him or to give a disagreement that is deliberately veiled as an agreement. Seriously, the option says, yeah, sorceresses can be like that, but Geralt actually says, she's not all bad once you get to know her. We'll see about that, Geralt. After we make our way to Caer Trold, we come across a funeral procession in progress. Yen joins us, and we are given 3 options. It doesn't matter which one you choose, however, because you are going to the wake whether you want to or not.
Yeah, nothing like the banquets mages attend. Remember the one on Thanet?
You were there. How could I forget? I also remember excruciatingly well what happened after the banquet.
Wait, what? That's a thing she can do? Read our mind whenever she wants, regardless of whether we want her to or not? Is this specifically tied to Geralt, or can she do this to whomever she wants? Because that is an insanely useful power. Next, we compare notes. I haven't learned anything yet, so I'll ask her what she knows.
How about you? What have you learned?
Something strange happened on Ord Skellige a time ago. A disaster brought about by a burst of magic. Extraordinary, really. Natural anomaly. Never seen anything like it. My intuition tells me Ciri was its cause.
As much as I respect your intuition, Yen, you need something specific. Evidence.
I'd know for certain if I was able to inspect the disaster zone. Unfortunately, Ermion and his druids aren't letting anyone near.
Ermion's head of the Skellige Circle? Haven't seen him since...
Since Ciri was a little girl. I doubt he'll do you any favors, not even for old time's sake.
Well, I could try asking him anyway.
So why won't Ermion let you inspect the area of the anomaly?
Call it a difference of opinion. A large, loud difference.
Meaning that you were probably acting like a piece of shit and Ermion wasn't having it.
Ugh.
I shall see you at the wake, and I'll not accept any excuses. I've an important matter to discuss with you.
I shall wear black and white for the feast. I count on you to don something complimentary. Something that doesn't reek of 1,000 hunts.
Why would I want to compliment your style? And furthermore, I haven't hunted since Vizima, so my clothes still smell like citrus and cloves. Whatever, I ignore her and head straight to the keep instead.
I can see you chose your own outfit.
Yeah, it's one of my fucking superpowers.
We should mingle before they all get drunk. There'll be no talking to anyone then.
Good thinking. I don't know what Krach wants, but when we meet with him, we should have clear minds.
I'm not gonna drink. Why dull my senses when I'm in such pleasant company?
Oh, please, Geralt. I've met spiders who are more pleasant company.
Do you plan to compliment me all evening?
I plan to tell you what I think.
As do I. You mewling, beetle-headed scut. We head inside and are pointed to our table.
Just here.
I asked them to. Wanted to meet the notorious Witcher Geralt.
We've met. Don't remember?
That was ages ago. Yalmer and I were children when you last visited Orda. But you should meet your feast mates. Allow me the dubious honour. That's Halbjorn, son of Holger Blackhand. Blue Boy Lucas, Madman Lucas's firstborn. And choking down a stockfish over there is Otrek on Hindar.
Seems they set us with the sons of Jarls, exclusively.
Ceres on Crate is the daughter of a Jarl, Geralt. Jarl's daughters are in no way inferior to their sons.
What? When did I say she was inferior? Geralt was just pointing out that the other guys sitting here were Jarl's sons. Ceres is technically a host, so sitting with her is less of a surprise than sitting at a table of Jarl's sons. Fuck you, Yennefer. You took my innocuous comment and twisted it into an insult just to make me look bad. Like, honest question to people in an actual relationship. If your significant other says something that could be taken either way, do you try and make them look better or worse? A better way to respond to this would be, don't forget about our lovely host Ceres. You know, give a man a chance to recover, rather than twist it into him calling the host inferior. If you actually gave a shit about Geralt, I don't know why you would do this. Now, Ceres here, as well as her brother Hjalmar, are part of a large side quest. One that isn't tied to the main story. Therefore, I don't really plan to cover it. I do actually really enjoy the quest, but the only critique I have is that Hjalmar is comically incompetent. He gets nearly his whole party killed with what he does. Ceres, on the other hand, has all the brains and actually helps people, which is why I could never in good conscience let Hjalmar have the throne. Anyway, we move on from the table of the Jarl's sons, and daughter, who is in no way inferior, and go to the back door, where we meet some of the Jarls themselves.
Allow me to introduce Geralt of Rivia, a Witcher. Geralt, Jarl Donar and Hinder, and Jarl Madman Lugos.
Calling Lugos a madman's an insult to madman. He's a common goat fucker.
Call me a goat fucker one more time, and I'll chop off your head, stick it on a pike, and piss down your neck hole.
I like these guys.
Time to settle this. Here and now.
Oh, ha ha ha! Giving me a true fright right now. Shat my best trousers. Put that away before you cut yourself, you cunt.
Settle this outside.
Who the fuck are you to advise me, eh?
Someone with better manners. You insult Bran's memory and Krach's hospitality with this. Emperor would be very pleased to hear you quarrel.
His Imperial Majesty is more than welcome to visit.
Let him sail over here. We ain't afraid of the Black Ones.
Raiding coastal villages is one thing. Total war with the Empire is another.
Awfully mouty, this one. Go stir your cauldron and pierce some boils, witch. Don't talk when you haven't got a fucking clue.
Yeah, no way am I gonna White Knight for Yennefer.
Calm down, Lugos.
No wench will teach me how to fight.
That was not my intention. Come, Geralt. I believe this discussion's run its course.
We move on further into the keep, and Yen shares her scheme with us.
What now?
Now we pay a visit to Ermien's laboratory.
Didn't know we'd been invited.
Because we've not been.
We shouldn't be breaking into Ermien's workshop.
If I didn't know you better, I'd say you needed to grow a pair.
X-fucking-cuse me? Were you not the one who just 30 seconds ago was lecturing someone about their manners?
Someone with better manners. You insult Bran's memory and Krach's hospitality with this.
Tell me, which do you think is worse? Starting a row at a funeral? or breaking into someone's house while they are away at a funeral. I feel like one of those things is higher on the scale of shittiness. I would prefer not to break into Ermine's lab, but because Geralt is properly pussy-whipped, he does it anyway. We get into Ermine's place through a side window, and find a door that leads further into the lab.
Are you alright?
Cut myself. The door's locked. The animals, they're alive. Yen, watch out.
After some fighting, I managed to shake off the hallucination.
What's happening?
You were hallucinating. You ran at Ermine's animals, sword flailing. I had to calm you.
Must have looked strange.
Your years of vigorous training at Kaer Morhen finally paid off. Bested nearly all the stuffed beasts in here.
Yep, you're the only stuffed beast left standing. We go further in and find a statue. I put a mug in his hand and open another door.
Huh. Seems like it worked. Who would have thunk?
Ermion enjoys jests achieved at the expense of others.
He's apparently not the only one.
This is it. We've got it. We must return to the feast quickly before...
Careful now.
We beat off the elemental and get the mask, but it seems Ermion has another trap.
The damned druid will poison us. This vapor's deadly. We've got but a few minutes.
Teleport us out of here.
Think of something. Quickly. First thing to come to your mind.
Now, if you pick the option, damn, I want to kiss you, Yen, you get the chance to have sex with Yennefer. So naturally, I chose the other option, because Yennefer can go fuck herself. So the two of us teleport back to the feast hall and then go off to see Croc. He gives us permission to do as we please. And so we make our way to the site of the anomaly that Yen mentioned. But she has gotten there ahead of Geralt and is already in a spat with Ermion.
Rifle! Have you any idea what could happen if it is used? Any idea of the consequences?
No, but neither do you.
Can hear you two clear on the other side of the island.
Good! May all Skellige know Yennefer of Vengerberg is a common thief!
Yep, pretty much.
I haven't stolen anything. I've merely borrowed something and fully intend to return it.
Ha! The generosity. Just one small problem. Once used, the mask is rendered completely worthless. Not to mention the risk you'll bury us alive, and all the Isles with us.
So Ermion explains the mask's power.
Barry, what are you talking about?
She's not told you? Might have expected as much. The myth is that Urberus created the mask when the envious seas swallowed his beloved. Unable to bear the prospect that he would never again see his betrothed, Urberus made the mask, which would allow him to peer into the past. He knew, however, that he could only use it once. So he waited. Waited until his longing grew so strong that it became unbearable. When the sea learnt of the mask, it was quick to respond. It made known its threat that whosoever used the mask would bring the sea's wrath down on them. For in vengeance, the sea would rise and flood all the lands and drown the living.
Where'd you get this mask?
Sailors from Clan Dimon pulled it from the sea, near the Njord Trench.
Yeah, but how can you be sure this is Urberus's mask?
Its appearance is exactly as described in the myths.
You believe the myths?
Only ignorant fools belittle their significance. Besides, it's not the myths that are on trial here. It's the thief.
Theft or no theft, Krach gave us free rein.
First off, this might indeed be his isle, but we, the druids, watch that no alien magic takes hold here. Secondly, after the cataclysm occurred, Krach turned to us for help, and trusted this site to our care. Third... What? What was that? No. Jennifer's used the mask.
We run to Yen and have to save her from some foglets.
What was that?
Unicorns.
Damn it, Yen. I saw the foglets. I meant how'd they get here?
The power of the mask summoned them.
Ermion says the mask might cause a natural disaster.
Fortunate he's here then. He can jump right in, try to tame it.
What if he hadn't been here, Yen? What if he can't tame it? Oh well, I guess he just falls under acceptable losses or something, right?
What now?
The mask reveals the past, but only in certain places. Places where past events left a strong magical imprint. Take it.
Want me to wear it?
Yes. I'll cast a spell that will let me see through your eyes.
Gonna read my mind again?
You object?
You know I don't like it.
Let it go. I just want to see what happened. Besides, you know there are things I'd rather not know about you.
I don't believe that for a second. We travel to the site of the first anomaly and use the mask. Okay, quick question. According to the myth, Ouroboros wanted to use the mask to see his dead lover, right? How does that work when all he would see was a blue silhouette? Anyway, we travel further down and see that one of the silhouettes teleports, and then Yin says this.
She escaped through another portal.
Know where it led?
Magic residue trail leads to Velen.
So let me get this straight. Yen can tell where someone teleported simply based on the magical residue left from the teleport. Alright, bear with me here. Geralt has the ability to track footprints, claw marks, changes in the environment, and many other small details. So why didn't we just try and track them using Geralt's abilities? Or better yet, why doesn't Yen just thoroughly probe the location? Even if none of that works, we could have at least said that we tried them. But instead, Yennefer went for the riskiest option first. Really think about this. We could have asked Ermion and his druids to help search the area for clues and magical locations, used our Witcher senses to find our own clues, and have Yennefer probe or something. That would have been a far less destructive option, and possibly even yielded the same results. But instead, she just uses the mask, without so much as considering these other options. Unless there's some big piece of information I'm missing that says none of that would have worked. But even so, we never even tried it. Anyway, we track down the other figure and watch him fight off an attacker before fleeing through his own teleport.
His trace path leads to Velen as well, but the target coordinates of his portal differ from those of Sirius. The explosion must have disrupted his teleportation.
Maybe something left of the one who got hit by the spell.
It's clearing up,
Ermion must be getting a handle on the weather.
which means he'll be free to attack us again.
You broke into his lab, stole his shit, and then nearly destroyed the island with a magical storm. If he were to attack you, which I doubt he would, I wouldn't see you as the victim.
Are you pleased with yourselves? Look at what you've brought down on us. We'll see what Krach has to say about this.
These are my options? Why am I forced to take Yennefer's side?
Sure as hell shouldn't be angry. He agreed to help us.
Well, he didn't agree to risk the entire island, Geralt. We explain what happened and go looking for the guy that was killed. Yen moves a tree with telekinesis and we find a crumpled mess of bones and armor.
Armor's clean. No blood, no sword nicks. Ciri's friend must have... what do you call it?
Vaporized him.
Exquisite. The armor, though the workmanship's unfamiliar. Can't even tell where it's from.
Probably because it belonged to a rider of the Wild Hunt.
What?
Wait, you didn't tell him about the hunt? don't you think that might have affected his actions, or maybe caused him to be a better help?
First here, then on Hindersfjall. What did they want?
They're looking for Ciri.
But why?
Elder blood flows in Ciri's veins.
'Tis true, she can trace her lineage clear back to Lara Duran, which is why the women in her family have always had extraordinary abilities. But could that truly be so important?
Ciri's exceptional. She travels between places here and other worlds. Space is no obstacle for her.
Huh?
Which is why the Wild Hunt wants to capture her. Speaking of the hunt, mentioned it appeared on Hindersfjall.
Well, it happened at least a fortnight after the cataclysm struck here on Skellige. The raids raided Lofoten at dusk in a blizzard. Itself a strange occurrence for that time of year. The islanders said the wraiths. They barged into their huts, killed anyone who resisted, then galloped inland, laughing fiendishly.
Anyone survive?
A dozen or so women and an old man.
Next stop, Hindersfjall.
Let's go to Hindersfjall. We travel to a small town that is covered in light snow. I have a question. How long does the snow left by the hunt last? Because I imagine it would have been a couple of days since the hunt was here. Is it like dry ice or something? We talk to the village people and they tell us a guy by the name of Craven could help us find Ciri. The problem is that he went off to fight a werewolf in a nearby holy garden. We head to the garden and find a trace of Craven's blood. I follow it around to a well that leads to a cave and a corpse.
And I've seen rot fiends in better condition than this.
Shit. Fine, scrape together what you can and haul the bits up here.
Take it you've got a plan?
No, I just like to stare at rotting flesh.
You're a bitch!
I take the body up to Yen and she wants to do necromancy on him?
Anyone can be made to talk, even a corpse. One must simply know how.
Thought necromancy was strictly forbidden.
So is premarital sex. But I'm not about to be bothered by such foolishness.
What? Yen, those things are not remotely comparable. A more apt comparison would be, I thought necromancy was forbidden. So is necrophilia, but that's never stopped me before. Desecrating a corpse is not the same thing as bumping uglies without a ring.
Never.
I don't like it any more than you do, believe me. But the thought that Ciri is in danger, I like that even less.
Well, let me make a suggestion, Yen. Let's try and find a way to locate Ciri without causing any more damage. We can question more townspeople, do some tracking, use magic to locate signs of her.
Need any ingredients for the spell?
The blood of a newborn, a virgin's tongue, and the eye of a newt.
Oh, you're a bitch, a bitch, a bitch, a bitch, a bitch!
Fine, I guess I'll just keep on playing this linear RPG.
I'm a sorceress, not a village herbalist. All I need is energy, a great deal of energy. We're very lucky this place is saturated with magic.
It's also considered sacred. Priestesses will be furious if you use the garden's power to revive a corpse.
Geralt, you're getting on my nerves. I offer you solutions, you try to poke holes in them.
Yen, you have been getting on my fucking nerves since the first time we had a real conversation. And as for your solutions, so far we have broken into someone's house and stolen something incredibly valuable and dangerous, used it flippantly and with complete disregard for the safety of hundreds of people, and now you want to use the energy of a holy garden to perform necromancy. Your solutions are shit, and if I could actually make my own decisions in this chapter, I would have gone to Ermion in the first place and asked him for help instead of you.
Selene, Defrain! Selene, Davidar!
Craven of Lofoten.
No, I have a name. I am Skull.
You died in battle. You've recovered.
Geralt, this is not the time to cheer up a corpse. A young woman, ashen hair, green eyes. What happened to her?
She's wise. They cursed me.
I don't care about that. What happened to her? What was she doing here? Speak!
No.
Speak! Speak!
She fell almost drowned.
Help me. Help us both. Ciri. Zirel. Can you hear me?
I can.
I must leave you now. We will meet beneath drowned dead rock. Can you remember? Repeat it.
Drowned. Dead rock.
You're awake. And I thought you'd...
Where am I? And who are you?
It's all right. You're on Hindersfjall, village of Lofoten. They call me Skjal.
But how'd I... What?
We fished you out of the sea. Me and that friend of yours.
And where is he? My friend.
Stepped out a while ago. Said he needed to find a boat. Why does he wear that mask? Something not right with his mug?
No. He simply doesn't like others to see it. How long did I lie there?
All day nearabouts. 'Twas morn when we brought you in. Night's near come now.
Damn. Too long.
You needed the rest. Desperately. Been through a lot, eh? Got some nasty, fresh-looking scars.
Yes. I've been through a lot.
I never thought women on the continent did any fighting.
Sometimes they have no choice. Help me stand.
I don't think you should...
Less talk, more giving me a hand.
Ah, that's me brother for you. Out of sight for a second, and he's already put his paws on a girl.
Astrid, you're as dim as dishwater. You know perfectly well I'm helping her up.
It's a shame, I know, but I've got to interrupt your courtship. Come, we're off to the sauna.
Where?
Why's your mouth agape like you're noodling for an eel? The sauna. Girl, you was blue as a whale when we brought you in here. Your blood needs thawing.
Really, there's no need. I feel fine now.
Hey, fine. You can't stand on your own 2 feet. And it's no surprise with your muscles frozen stiff. But don't you worry. Mom and I will take care of you.
I'm sorry, but I must get to Drowned Dead Rock.
As fast as possible.
Shan't force you to stay. But the rocks are ways off and you can barely walk. You'd best take a horse.
True. Skjal can prepare a horse for you. You'll have to wait a spell, but even so, you'll get there faster than on foot.
Fine, that'll do. Thank you both very much.
Pish posh, there's no need. Now come, we gotta sweat the sick out of you.
Where are my clothes?
I've taken them already. Come on.
So Ciri takes a quick bath and then heads out to the stables to meet Skjal. He is preparing a horse for her, but before she can leave, the wild hunt attacks, and both Ciri and Skjal flee to the waterfront. So Ciri gets knocked out by her masked friend, and Skjal runs to her aid, before getting his spine slashed. I'm sure he's fine though. Spinal injuries aren't what they used to be. Ciri and her friend sail to safety, and Skjal passes out. He awakens sometime later to see a misshapen monstrosity. The thing runs away, and Skjal passes out again. We cut back to Yennefer, and she asks him where the creature went. Skjal says he saw somebody sell him off, but beyond that he doesn't know. He then begs us to clear his name of cowardice. The short explanation of this is that because he quote-unquote fled the wild hunt, his real name was erased from local records, and he was renamed Craven as punishment. Seeing as he risked his life to save Ciri, I'm sure Yennefer would take mercy on him and—
Be gone, I say!
Could have shown some sympathy for the boy.
That was no boy, Geralt. It was a hunk of rotting, rancid flesh that spoke through my magic.
Ah, I see. It was your magic that was begging to have its name cleared. I think you're full of shit, Yen.
It howled in pain.
I know it seemed real, but it was no longer human. Do you understand? Nice of you to be so concerned for the corpse. Much more than you were for me.
Yeah, that's because the corpse has a more likable personality. I'm not even trying to be funny here. If zombie Skjal was a romance option, I would choose him over Yen. Now, before we go any further, I have some questions about how the necromancy here works. In the second game, there is a point where necromancy is performed. The way this works is that Geralt has to collect some ingredients, and then we use them to sort of relive some of the more recent memories of the corpse. This manifests in a few fragmented memories that help Geralt retrieve vital plot information. As far as I can tell, Skjald's entire account is from his own dead lips. So I'm expected to believe that he gave a perfect description of these events while wailing and stuttering like simple Jack. I'm sure it wouldn't be an issue for me if I had not played the second game, where Geralt's reliving of the dead man's past was necessary for total accuracy and also made for a good excuse as to why it looked so real. There are also things that happen in Skjald's retelling that he would have no way of knowing, like Ciri's bath, for example. This could have been remedied very easily by having half of Ciri's story told by one of the women at the village, and the escape told by the corpse of Skjal. It would also make the accuracy of the tale more believable.
What happened to the garden?
It died. Like I said, the spell, it requires a great deal of energy.
You knew it would end like this, didn't you? Didn't consider it worth mentioning?
No, I knew you'd protest. Your sense of decency is charming, but it does get in the way sometimes.
Yen, let's get out of here. Now.
You needn't ask me twice.
The garden! Our garden! How could you? We helped! And you! Inconceivable!
Now.
Don't you dare try to calm me! We've every right to be furious! Furious! And you will pay for this!
Hey, I'm on their side.
I'm sorry.
Is that all? Will you say nothing else?
Nothing that would help.
I shall make sure all Skellige hears what you did here.
Wait. I did this. I alone. Geralt tried to stop me. I refused to listen.
Whoa, Yen, you're finally taking responsibility for your actions? Better late than never, I guess.
None shall open their door to you. None shall feed your hunger, and none shall tend to your wounds.
Yen, you didn't have to do that.
She absolutely did, Geralt. This was her fault.
We must focus on what Skal told us.
Didn't learn much, though we can be sure Ciri's not in Skellige anymore. Maybe she's in Velen, hiding somewhere. Or in Novigrad, world's largest city.
Better to have some idea where to look than none.
Makes me wonder what she's gotten herself into.
Can't even begin to imagine. But we will pull her out of it. Safe and sound. That I promise you.
Key to finding Ciri is that ugly thing Skell saw on the beach. That's what I think.
Why would you think that? Ciri and her friend left in a boat, and then sent back a creature? For what? As a gift? A clue?
Do you think... Is there a chance that thing might be Ciri? That... well... she's been transformed by some curse?
Why would you come to that conclusion? Skjall just woke up and saw a creature. It could have come from anywhere. It could have been completely unrelated. What exactly makes you conclude these things? Anyway, we go to Donar, and he doesn't know exactly where the creature went, so we are at a full dead end in Skellige. But Yen wanted our help with something. Let's see what it could be. She says that she found a tome in the Emperor's library, and that it could lead her to a djinn, a sort of genie creature that could grant wishes. Yen wants us to help her find the djinn. We agree and then head out to sea in search of clues as to the djinn's whereabouts. We eventually find half a shipwreck with half of some kind of stone. Yen says that she can find the other half of both of them by using the stone we found. I'm not sure how that would work, but maybe the stones exude some kind of connecting power that makes them want to be together? Which would actually be a nice metaphor considering the purpose of this quest. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Yen teleports us close to the other half of the stone, and Geralt finally asks why we're doing all this.
Yen, not so fast. Gotta tell me what this is about first. Why do you want this djinn?
But you already know. A djinn's power is priceless to a mage.
That I know, but I also want to know how you plan to use it. Wouldn't go to these lengths if it wasn't something important.
You're right. It's important. Even very important. How long has this been going on, Geralt? This thing between us? 15, 20 years? We repeatedly split up, then return to one another. Something draws us to each other, but I can never be certain if it's a true feeling or merely a bit of mischief by a djinn.
Well, personally, I hate you, so sure, you could say that the djinn cursed me as a joke.
You asked that djinn to bind us together forever. I want to ask this one to take that wish back.
I get it. You want to know what'll happen if magic no longer binds us.
I want to know if when the djinn's magic is gone, if we've any magic left of our own.
Well, I'm fine with that, but I can promise you now that wait a minute. What the fuck? You're telling me that we committed larceny nearly destroyed a portion of Skellige and performed forbidden magic of necromancy and destroyed a holy garden, all while knowing, by your own admission, that there was a wish-granting djinn somewhere around Skellige? And you're telling me that you want to use this wish to know if I still have feelings for you? Yen, what about Ciri? What about Ciri? Remember when you said...
I've spent months searching for Ciri, using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really.
Or what about...
I don't like it any more than you do, believe me. But the thought that Ciri is in danger, I like that even less.
And now you want to waste time using what should have been an obvious first choice in finding Ciri to satisfy your feelings? Yen, go to hell. So we fight the djinn, and Yen makes her stupid ass wish. Then we sit down on the edge of the ship. So at this point, I feel it necessary to mention that no matter what you said or did throughout all of your adventures in Skellige, this is the only choice that actually matters. It doesn't matter how rude you were to Yen or how much you responded negatively to her. It all just comes down to options 1 or 2. This is representative of a larger problem I have with the dialogue system, being that so little of your dialogue actually matters, but more on that later. For now, I have to tell Yen that I don't want to be with you anymore, because Geralt apparently doesn't have the balls to tell her that she's a horrible and manipulative person.
Truly? But how is that possible? I still feel the same. You should too. I don't understand. What does this mean?
Means the djinn granted your wish.
Right. Fine, good. Glad we got that over with. We know where we stand, at least. Naught left for us here. Let's go.
Wait. Magic's gone, true, but that doesn't mean I don't like spending time with you.
Damn it, I hate so much of the dialogue with Yen. I don't like spending time with her. But the writing is constantly forcing me to say this shit. Anyway, we leave the ship and Yen heads back to Vizima. Me, on the other hand, I've got to head to Novigrad and find more clues.